Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Football is here.
Yes, sir.
We are here. You thought we had to wait till the fall. You thought we had to
Nope.
wait till training camp started.
Nope.
You
Nope.
thought you thought we're taught about the XFL. Nope.
We're
NFL, Joseph.
back.
2023 mock draft episode, year in, year out. Me and Joseph will dive into the first round, give our picks, give our takes. More than likely 110% to be wrong. Do not quote us. Do not you put any money on our picks. But we will do our best.
Or do.
But before we get into anything NFL talk, you know how the episodes start. Everyone listening knows how it goes. Hot or not.
Oh, yeah. Hot or not.
Joseph, I'm going to let you start off if you have anything.
I don't have a hot. I have a not. You start. Do you have a hot? You can start off.
Oh, I have a hot. So, Joseph, I got to ask you an honest question here. Do you, like, when you go to a grocery store, right, say you are going for sort of a cruddy snack or even like a fruit snack of some sort, all the fruit snacks. Let's just go to the fruit snacks, okay? Out of all the fruit snacks that you can pick, what do you think are the best fruit snacks? Like, which ones you picking? What do you think?
Geez, that's a tough question because I'm not a huge fruit snack guy. Probably the Welch's ones.
Welch's. You see, that's where you go wrong. The Scooby-Doo fruit
Show and tell.
snack.
Okay, I didn't even know those were a thing anymore. I thought they got rid of them.
You think they're ever getting rid of these bad boys? The
I
Scooby-Doo
swore they
fruit
did.
snack. The Scooby-Doo fruit snack, in my opinion, is in the upper echelon of snacks, fruit snacks, any sort of desire of food you want. In my opinion, the Scooby-Doo is in the upper echelon. Now, I had happened to be going in the grocery store today. I was walking around getting my groceries. I go into the fruit snack section. I see the Scooby-Doo fruit snacks. Every sort of reminiscent of me being 5 years old came flowing through my blood. Grabbed the first pack I could, and there's 10 in there. I'm already 8 down, and I got it an hour ago. I just got back.
So, I think what I was thinking of it is I think they've changed it. It's no longer they still have the blue ones that you can't. They're not like the same. Like they're still like the opaque ones. Because what I'm seeing is that the Scooby Snacks have gone on a little rehaul, little new management, new ownership, and
you know what? I think they
them
got rid. I think not only like the dark blue one that's like you can't even see through
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
the pure blue.
Yep.
You know what? I think they got rid of it.
Okay. See,
They
I'm
did.
seeing a
And-
change.org survey right here. Let's bring back the original Scooby-Doo gummies.
And if you know anything about it, you remember that these used to be yellow. You remember the box was a yellow box, a yellow Scooby-Doo
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
And they moved that game. But I had to give him a shout out for my hot. Oh,
No,
phenomenal.
for sure.
Best fruit snacks in the game. Joseph, what is your not?
I don't have a hot. I do have a not, though. And this is a little more sports related, but you know me. I've been a pretty big defender of Dylan Brooks over the last couple of weeks. And you know us, not huge Lakers fans, not in love with LeBron. But, man, I'm kind of starting to switch up on the Grizzlies, man. I mean, just a clown show over there in Memphis. Before the game today, I think they're winning right now, but before the game today, they're dancing like they're up 3-1, they're down 3-1. Dylan Brooks is declining to talk to media after he went out of his way to talk to the media. You're going to talk that much, you better back it up. You better not let LeBron just embarrass you. And, I mean, the whole franchise of the stock of the Grizzlies has just plummeted over the last week. And they're the
speaking
2
of Dylan
seed in the
Brooks,
NBA playoffs. Embarrassing.
Currently at the half, Dylan Brooks has 5 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 5 from threes, and
Yeah.
3 fouls.
See, I'm all for the trash talk, Evan, but you got to back it up. I mean, at least come with something, and there just hasn't been anything. And LeBron's just made him his little baby, just rocked him to sleep. Still hate LeBron, but just it's unfortunate. The Lakers are going to win this series, and then they're going to get blown out in the next series. So it's whatever. So they're up right now. So maybe the Grizzlies can come back from 3-1. Who's popping off right now? Ooh, Desmond Bain, 21 points in the first
Yeah, he's
half.
having a rough
Love to
little
see
bit
it.
of that.
You got any knots for us before we hop into this mock draft, Evan?
None that I can think of. I guess before we get into the draft, a little shout out to A-Rod. Finally headed to the New York Jets. The deal
Yes,
is
sir.
done. I'm actually kind of glad they got it done right
about
before the
it?
draft because I kind of figured it was either going to get done during the draft or maybe right after. But them getting it
Yeah.
done like before the draft kind of clears all our heads when it comes to the Jets. Like
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Jets making picks and where they're putting people, it kind of clears things up now that we know that Aaron's going there. So good for him.
Yeah.
Good for the Jets. They're officially Super Bowl contenders. I think we can all agree with that. The way their team is all around stacked, in my opinion. So good for them. Good for Aaron. Just want to give a quick shout out. So should we just get right into the draft, Joseph? Let's just
Yeah,
get
let's
right
get
into
right into it. So how we're going to do this is we're going to go every other pick on take who we would take if we were the general managers. There might be some trades within our picks, but we won't trade with each other. And we'll switch off every pick. So I have the honor of being the number 1 overall pick. Cue the sound. Oh, that's an ad. An ad, Evan. I got shafted by an ad. An
Ad
11-second ad, actually.
That's brutal.
It's an ad. It's an
Not
ad for I can't even tell. Rabila. It's some in medicine. Perfect. Here we go. With the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 Far From Pro mock draft, the Carolina Panthers welcome, surprise, C.J. Stroud to the team. Give it up for the boy. This might be a controversial take, Evan.
That really mixes things up, Joseph. That really
Oh, it mixes things up, and I love it.
I thought this was a lock. Bryce
Nope.
Young at 1. So
So
okay, I know I don't want to talk about every pick here, but why
we
CJ
can dive
Stroud?
into this one.
Yeah.
Evan, I
me-
am probably the biggest C.J. Stroud fan to ever be a fan of Michigan.
But doesn't he
I-
have some sort of autism? Didn't he get like 18% on the
Okay, let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. If you watch Will Levis play, and then you watch C.J. Stroud play, and you tell me that Will Levis is a better decision maker than C.J. Stroud, you're nuts. If you actually watch the tape, you are not believing this test. Because what this test is telling me is Will Levis never makes mistakes, and C.J. Stroud does make a lot of mistakes. Will Levis couldn't beat out Sean Clifford at Penn State, who probably isn't even going to be in the NFL, and C.J. Stroud should have beat Georgia and probably would have won the national championship should they make that kick to win the game in the playoff semifinals. C.J. Stroud is going to be an incredible talent. His ceiling is higher than Bryce Young. His floor is a lot lower than Bryce Young, right? Bryce Young is the much safer pick. Here is my thing. You don't trade up with all that capital to get someone that is not an elite tier, Hall of Fame level ceiling. I think C.J. Stroud could be a top 10 quarterback at his ceiling. Bryce Young also could be a top 10 quarterback, but I don't think his ceiling is as high. I don't think he has the same potential to be a future Hall of Famer. I love C.J. Stroud. I've seen my Michigan Wolverines beat him twice, and I still love him just as much. That is from my opinion, that says a lot. His performance against Georgia was one of the all-time performances. It's a shame they didn't win that game. I love C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to do great things. Incredible passer. Does not get enough credit for what he can do on the ground. I think the Panthers, if they're going to make this big swing, they should go C.J. Stroud. Now, I do not think they will. I think they will take Bryce Young, but if I'm the Panthers GM, I'm taking a huge swing on C.J. Stroud. I love me some C.J. Stroud. I love what he's been able to do. I think he will be the best Ohio State quarterback in the league. So I'm taking C.J. Stroud at number 1. It's a hot take. I know he failed. He got an 18% on the whatever test. I don't care. You know who got a great score? Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't want to be like Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay? I want my quarterbacks who can ball. He had some quote today about I just play football. Love it.
Oh man, Joseph, this really
Welcome to the team, CJ.
Well, this really messes things up, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to be completely honest. I was going to take Tyree Wilson with the second pick. I was going to really throw some out there.
What? Okay.
But
Hey, I know.
so Tyree Wilson. So for those of you who don't know, I don't. There's only ever been like one other like defensive lineman or D lineman to come out of the Pac-12. Not the Pac-12.
Big 12.
The Big 12. And so this isn't very common. This isn't a big thing. Texas Tech doesn't usually produce so-called defensive prospects. So I'm not going to get into it. He's not getting picked. I have to go Bryce Young here because if you don't take Bryce Young, he's not going third to the Cardinals. He's not going fourth to the Colts.
Ooh,
It just
I don't know about that.
No, we're not. We'll see.
get there.
But
We'll
right
get
now,
there.
in the second pick in the draft, the Far Pro Pass, the Houston Texans are gonna select Bryce Young as their new franchise quarterback.
Incredible talent, great player. I think you can't go wrong with either of these guys, in my opinion. I think they should go 1-2. I expect Bryce Young to go first. I expect C.J. Stroud to go second. Both great talents. I just think C.J. Stroud. I like C.J. Stroud more as a player. He's a bigger, stronger. I just think he has a higher ceiling.
I actually agree with you on that, and actually I also agree with you on the fact that you said like I think Bryce Young is more NFL ready than C.J. Stroud
Yes,
right now.
for sure.
But like you said also, C.J. Stroud has a higher ceiling than Bryce Young. So yes, Bryce Young might be a little more ready than C.J. Stroud, but you get a lot more potential with C.J. Stroud. And I do like C.J. Stroud, the fact that he's bigger, stronger, in my opinion, better pocket passer. You see, like if you watch what C.J. Stroud did to Georgia last year in the playoffs, like that had all NFL talent. And he was sitting back there dotting them up. He does well in the pocket. He has done well in the pocket literally all of his college career. So he's the big 1-2 punch. You can't go wrong with either of them really. They're both great players. So
I like your pick there. Okay. Cardinals are on the clock for me here. This pick's pretty easy in my opinion, going Will Anderson. I think he's the best defensive player in the draft. There's a lot of great guys up here. I think Will Anderson can be an instant culture changer. Cardinals desperately need defense. They need an edge rusher. I'm going Will Anderson with the number 3 pick to the Cardinals. New GM, starting everything up. The offense has been shaky, but you can't pass up on Will Anderson. I think he's the best available at this point.
It's a great pick. It's a great pick. You know, some people would debate
Colts.
that. Some people would debate that Jalen Carter is actually a better technically talent than he is. But you know, with those off-field issues and things that are going on with Jalen Carter, you can always trust it. I got the 4th pick with the Colts, and the Indianapolis Colts are going to select Will Levis with the fourth overall.
Whoa!
So here's my thing. Right before we got on this episode, a report came out from Dan Orlovsky.
I don't even think he's like. I gotta go down. Oh, I gotta go down here a bit.
Yeah, let me fill you in on something. There was an alert that had come out right before our episode started, and it had said, "You know what? I'm gonna read it for you because you know what?
Yeah, go ahead and read it."
The slander that this man is getting. I understand. Look, he's 37 years old. He's just trying to make his way. Let me find this post. This is gonna really shock your world here. Find it.
This is a very interesting pick here, Evan, because the Colts have had some interesting quarterback play as of late with Carson Wentz.
How about this? So
Matt Ryan.
The exact quote is that the Manning family says he's a good kid and gives him the okay from him being at the Manning Pass Academies. That's number 1. Number 2, the Colts have met with Will Levis more than any other team, and they have said that they like Will Levis and think he's their guy. They like him a lot. Number 3, if you look at the betting odds, literally last week, Will Levis. This is for the second. No, but listen. This is Joe. Listen. This is for the second overall pick. For him being the second overall pick, he went from a 50-1 odds to a 5-1 odds.
That's just terrible. If Will Levis goes ahead of C.J. Stroud, I will lose my mind.
50-1 to 5-1 to be the second overall pick, Joseph, and that still stands right now, 5-1. So this is my thing. Very good chance he doesn't get picked number 2. I don't think they'll pick Will Levis for the Texans. I think the Texans are either locked with C.J. Stroud or another defender, but I think the Colts are going to take him. I think if 4 comes, they're taking Will Levis at 4. I think they will.
Interesting. Okay. I don't mind it. I've got Will Levis down here at my 21st best player
Jesus
in the
Christ.
draft. He's my fourth highest rated quarterback. It's close to fifth, by the way. Not I'm not a big Will Levis guy. I think he has never looked impressive in college. Compare that to the two guys above him that you've already drafted, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, who have contended for national championships. Will Levis hasn't done squat. Understand it's at Kentucky, but he couldn't beat out Sean Clifford at Penn State. Not a big fan. I am a big fan of a quarterback that you passed on that we'll probably get to later, but I've got Seahawks here at number 5. I think this is pretty easy. I think they're going to go Jalen Carter here. Again, just best player available. I know there's those off-field issues. Pete Carroll doesn't mind off-field issues. We know that. I think at the end of the day, Jalen Carter's just the best player here, and I think they'll take him. They need a defensive tackle. The need is there. The great player is there. The culture kind of fits. Not scaring me off with the off-field issues. I understand they're there, but it's not as bad as some other guys we've seen. So Jalen Carter drops to 5. I think he'd probably go higher if it wasn't for the off-field issues, but I got him Seahawks, take him at 5.
So, okay. I'm about to do something here, Joseph, that's a real shot in the dark. But I want it to be in our draft class. With the 6th pick, I'm going to have the Detroit Lions select running back from Texas, Bijan Robinson.
Oh my goodness! You're just firing. I mean, this is.
It was between him and Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback from Illinois. Okay. But the reason I didn't go with Devin, the only reason I didn't go with Devin Witherspoon is because he's tiny and he has a bunch of injuries. And I think if the Lions have DeAndre Swift and Bijan Robinson in the background, and the Lions love Bijan Robinson, those two in the backfield with Jared Goff, that team. Well, I mean, now that Jameson Williamson's out 6 games, they're going to need a little more offensive talent. So, Bijan Robinson, that's going to be my 6th pick.
I guess so. I don't know that running back is your biggest need here at 6, but you do love your running backs, and you fired correctly on Kenneth Murray last year, or was it Kenneth Murray?
Kenneth Walker.
Not Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Murray is a horrible linebacker for my Chargers.
Be a dog. I told you.
Yeah, he is a dog. Breece Hall is a dog as well, but those guys weren't drafted in the first round, so that's an interesting pick. I kind of don't like it because I've got a couple teams, including one that I'm repping that I kind of hope he drops to. But that's a little bit of a reach, but I like it. Your balls to the walls here. I'm going to go safe again. Raiders here. Number 7, need a cornerback. You just said the man himself, Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois, part of the best defense in college football. They need a quarterback. Their first-round cornerbacks have not worked out in the past. First-round picks for the Raiders haven't worked out very well in the past. I think this one's a pretty safe pick here. I'm going Devin Witherspoon at 7 to the Raiders.
It's a good pick. For my 8th pick, I'm going to have the Atlanta Falcons selecting O-tackle / guard from Ohio State, Paris Johnson.
You suck.
It's a good pick because I thought the Raiders were going to get him. I thought you were going to say that for sure. But Witherspoon's a good pick. But yeah, for the Falcons, they need linemen. I think the Falcons need linemen bad, and I think they need to get a good one.
Tough.
So Paris Johnson, in my opinion, he's unbelievable. So he needs to go.
I agree.
He needs to get out. He needs to be early. He needs to be early, man. He would be good on the Bears if that's who you're going to pick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Bears. Here's my thing. If the Bears pass on Paris Johnson here, complete failure. Especially since they already have Ohio State quarterback. So just build up the whole Ohio State culture.
I know.
So I really wanted Paris Johnson there at 9, but there's a player that we've kind of passed on. You mentioned him earlier. The Bears do need an edge rusher. Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson at Texas Tech. Probably the highest ceiling of any defensive player. He's a little raw, but his ceiling is incredibly high. So I think the Bears, if they don't have... I don't want to reach on another tackle just quite yet. I think they have a chance to get him later. But yeah, I'll take the edge rusher out of Texas Tech for the Bears. I think that's probably as far as he'll drop. I think that's probably as far as Tyree Wilson will drop, to 9 with the Bears.
Yeah, I could see it. I'm really having trouble here.
Eagles. This is an interesting one.
I got 2 options.
I think they might. I think they could take Bijan Robinson if he's still here, but Obviously, you've already gotten that out of our way.
That dude, I'm not even kidding. The other team I was gonna select was gonna be the Eagles. If I would have picked Bijan, he would have been gone by here. You know what? I'm gonna say it.
You think?
I'm gonna go Philadelphia Eagles. I'm gonna go Lucas Van Ness, DN from Iowa.
Okay. I don't mind it. Don't mind it. He's a little lower on my draft board, but I rock with it.
They need a DN, and I feel like
Yeah, they need an edge.
Yeah, he had a really good combine too, so I feel like the Eagles. I don't know why not. And plus, if you go back to the Super Bowl, the Eagles could not do anything to slow down the Chiefs in their pass rush. So maybe he can help.
Yeah, the Eagles, they don't have a lot of holes here, Evan. So they kind of have the luxury of went to the Super Bowl and have the 10th overall pick. So they can kind of they can kind of fire here. I like that pick. I would if Robinson's still on the board here, I might take them if I were the Eagles. Next up, the Titans. This is interesting. A lot of people think they should take quarterback here. Anthony Richardson's still on the board. It's really, really tempting. This is tough. I think if Anthony Richardson's still here at 11, you got to take him if you're the Titans. They do need a wide receiver. They also need offensive tackle help. Here, I'm kind of down to Richardson, Smith-Njigba, or Peter Skoronski. I'm going to take Anthony Richardson with 11. I think he drops to 11. I think the Colts will take him at 4 over Levis, but you might be right. They might be in love with Levis. I'm going to take Anthony Richardson at 11. It's kind of a boring spot for him to go, but I think the Ryan Tannehill era in Tennessee is coming to an end. This would allow Richardson to sit for a year while Tannehill kind of runs the offense, teaches him things, comes in the next year. That team, I'm not super high on the Titans, so I think getting a super dynamic quarterback in there. We've talked about Anthony Richardson's ceiling is super, super, super high. He does have a very low ceiling, though. He could be a total bust. So I think 11 is kind of a safe pick. You already have a seasoned veteran in there, very mature coach. They've been to the playoffs. Anthony Richardson goes to 11 to the Titans.
It's a great pick. 12th pick from the Houston Texans. I'm going wide receiver out of Ohio State, Jackson Smith-Njigba.
God, you just keep taking my picks, bruh.
Look, okay, first off, let me say something right now. Okay, first off, because here's the thing with the Houston Texans, they don't really need much else. I was gonna pick.
Oh, this is a great pick.
I was gonna pick Peter. I was gonna pick that Peter Kronsky, the tackle from Northwestern, Sikoronski or whatever. But they don't need a tackle. They have Tunsil. They're perfectly fine. I think you give your now quarterback a weapon in Jackson Smith-Njigba. Give him someone to throw to. That's what they need there. And to be honest with you, if the Packers in the 13th pick a wide receiver the year after if they pick a wide receiver in the first round the year after they get rid of Aaron Rodgers, biggest kick in the balls maybe in the history of sports, to be honest.
Yeah. I would take if Smith-Njigba falls to the Packers, they have to fire on him. We forget how good this guy was. I mean, in 2021, he was a dynamic receiver. I got Smith-Njigba.
He's going where?
State.
Oh,
the guy you just took.
I thought you said you picked him. I was like, what?
No. You took him. I would have taken him at 13 with the Packers. This guy's incredible. I got to watch him in person last year. He is a talent. You got to remember, Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson were on his team, and I think Smith-Njigba had the best season of both of them. Obviously, he's not facing the best cornerbacks when those two guys are on the team, but we've seen how those guys have played this year. So I think Smith-Njigba to the Texans is a great pick. You pair either C.J. Stroud with Smith-Njigba or Bryce Young with Smith-Njigba. That pairing is immediately successful. We've seen it happen with quarterback, wide receiver pairings, first round guys before. I love that pick there. Wish he fell to my Packers here, or not my Packers, but the 13th pick. They need weapons. They need offensive weapons. So there's not really a wide receiver I'll take here. So I'm going to go Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame, the tight end. I think him or Kincaid are.
Wow. Really?
They need a tight end.
I know
it's
that.
Not
I mean,
much of a reach.
I like the tight end reach. I thought you were gonna pick Dalton, the Utah tight end, over him. I think he's better.
I think they're 1-2 here. I don't see a huge difference, to be honest.
Okay,
I think they'll be okay with either one of them.
I can get behind that. Joseph, do you have friends over right now?
I have my roommates over. You hear the little screaming.
They're getting a little after it. No problem.
I think it's the Lakers Grizzlies that's going on right now.
It's a Wednesday night.
I got a Lakers fan in the estate.
Oh God, that sucks.
So,
all right, 14th pick.
Yeah, it does suck.
New England Patriots. This is tough because it's so hard to read what the Patriots are ever going to do, but he's still available and they need it. I'm going to go DN/outside linebacker out of Georgia, Nolan Smith.
Okay.
I think the Patriots need another pass rusher, and you know Bill, give that guy a good defense. This guy can help his good defense, so we're going to get Nolan Smith at 14.
I like it. Any Georgia defender I'm pretty on board with. We've seen them ball out this year, so I expect this class of guys to do well. And this leaves me with the Jets. And if this is where they sit, and they still have Peter Skoronski on their board at number 15, and they just got Aaron Rodgers, and they have some great dynamic weapons. They have Breece Hall, some great wide receivers, and a great defense. You fire on Peter Skoronski here. This is an incredibly built team. Northwestern offensive linemen are just great pieces. I know for one with the Chargers. So Peter Skoronski to the Jets, they're thrilled if they can get him at 15.
It's a great pick. I was either going to say him or you should pick Broderick Jones, the tackle to Georgia, but he'll get out here soon. So the 16th pick, we have the Commanders. So for me, I was going to pick an old lineman for the Commanders, but then I look at the team. I was also going to pick the Utah tight end, but they do have Logan Thomas. He's injured a lot, but he is there. So I'm going to say they need to get a cornerback. I'm going to say Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State. I think the Commanders, they have awful pass coverage, and they have to deal with CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown. So someone's got to cover them twice a year, so they need to get a cornerback. Get it one in the first round, Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State. That's my pick.
He is way down on my board, so I will gladly take that. Okay. Sitting here, that was 16, right? I'm at the Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
This is a tough one. Cornerback's pretty high up there. Yeah, I think I'm going to go cornerback here. Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon is still available. It's not their biggest need. I would love to get them an offensive tackle here, but we just took the two best ones off the board, and I think cornerback is still a pretty big position of need. So I'm going to go Christian Gonzalez to the Steelers out of Oregon at number 17.
Oh, you fucker. You took my guy. All right. Let's go Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of Penn State with the 18th pick here.
Love it.
I think that the Lions need coverage. I think that we all know the infamous story of them and their cornerbacks.
Yeah, they need defense badly.
They need defense, so I think Joey Porter is a good player out of Penn State, so let's give him a corner, huh?
See, why not? That's why I don't love your line. I don't love your Bijan Robinson pick, because I think the Lions' offense is going to be just fine. I think their defense is what it needs. But who knows?
I'll tell you what, every other mock draft I'm looking at here. I'm looking at a bunch of them to see if I want to switch picks or whatever. A lot of them are saying for the 18th pick they should either pick Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson. They're saying a lot of running backs for the Detroit this first round.
Yeah, because they got rid of Williams, but I don't know. I think their scheme will do well regardless. But who knows? Maybe he's the next Hall of Famer. That was Lions at 18, Bucks here at 19. By the way, I do love. I think either the top three cornerbacks are all great. Whether that be Witherspoon, Gonzalez, or Joey Porter Jr. I think any of those guys, I think those are the top three pretty solidly. So I like that pick there. I had him as the third best, but those other guys had already fallen off the board. Bucks here at 19. This is a really tough pick. If there's a quarterback here, I think there's a chance they take Will Levis if he's still on the board to sit behind Baker Mayfield. This is tough. This is really tough. I think I'm going to go Broderick Jones here. They need offensive tackle help. I'm really out on the Bucks this year. They have a lot of holes, but you can't go wrong with an offensive tackle in the first round, especially out of Georgia. So I'm gonna have the Bucks getting Broderick Jones at 19. Seahawks are on the clock again. A lot of repeat teams here, Evan. Did you know the Dolphins don't have a first round pick because they tampered? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, they got. I forgot what it was. Something like that. You know what?
I think it was for Tom Brady. Seahawks, who you got?
I'm gonna go Miles Murphy. The
Woo!
So the reason I was gonna go Zay Flowers, but because Tyler Lockett's getting old, they need to get a new receiver. But I kind of don't really want to see him with the Seahawks. Plus, we just got Jalen Carter at 5, so if they can get a DN and a D tackle to get in there, Seahawks are
that's dangerous. That's dangerous, dude. That will be. Imagine those two coming at you. Incredible pick.
Gotcha. You got a problem there.
And I love this. I love this, Evan, because the two guys that I want for my team here at 21, I think these guys will go ahead before I get to this spot. But I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid here. I think you're giving Justin Herbert, Dalton Kincaid, along with all the weapons. We've needed some tight end talent for a while here. So maybe subconsciously I took Michael Mayer earlier so the Chargers can get Dalton Kincaid. But, yeah, I think this would be either of those guys if the Chargers can get him at 21. Yeah, I'm all offense.
So good.
Oh, my goodness. I'm all offense. I think we have to outscore Patrick Mahomes to beat him. I don't think we're going to stop him, so I'm going all offense. I'm either taking Bijan here. I'm taking
your team sucks,
a wide receiver or a tight end if they're available. Love Dalton Kincaid. Justin Herbert, Dalton Kincaid, that Pac-12 connection. Woo!
Yeah, you're going to need a lot more than a tight end to fix that team.
All right, buddy.
I'm going to go 22nd pick. We got the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go Jordan Addison, wide receiver.
Ooh, love it. They have to go wide receiver. If they don't go wide receiver, I will be...
If they don't go... I've been... A bunch of mock drafts I read were saying that they were going to go defense. If they go defense, I think Lamar's probably...
they got to go wide receiver. Got to go wide receiver.
They need to get receiver. It's either him or Zay Flowers, so I'm going to go Jordan Addison until I like the two. So
him or Zay... You have Zay Flowers as your third best wide receiver? Interesting.
I like Quentin Johnson, too, but I like Zay Flowers a lot.
Okay. I'm a big Jalen Hyatt guy out of Tennessee, so that would have been my pick there. Or Jordan Addison. I didn't love how Quentin Johnson kind of looked non-existent in the national championship. Granted, it is against Georgia, so. But Jalen Hyatt's my third best after Addison and Jigba. Who do I got here? Vikings. Oh, hometown Vikings, and this leads perfectly into my next pick. Jalen Hyatt. They need a wide receiver. Adam Thielen's out the door. Kirk Cousins needs some weapons. There's some smoke about him trading up for a quarterback. I think that would be dumb. I think the offense is good enough. You get another wide receiver in there for Kirk Cousins to throw to. A guy like Jalen Hyatt, a deep threat, dynamic guy. I have the Vikings taking a wide receiver. Justin Jefferson, Jalen Hyatt lining up on the outside. It's going to be a dangerous group to stop. They do have some holes in the defense, but right now I'm just on my big board. I'm not seeing any guys that I would take over Hyatt or Quentin Johnson, but I'll go Hyatt here for the Vikings.
I would have taken Hendon Hooker. I think they're going to get Hendon Hooker. I think that's what they're going to. They're done with Kirk. I think they're going to be like, you know what? I think they're going to move on from Kirk. I think they're going to say, you know what, Kirk, you're getting old. You suck. We need to get Hendon Hooker, teach him for a few years.
Hendon Hooker, wow.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't think you can take Hendon Hooker this early.
Well, I just did. So, 24th overall pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going Brian Brees, D tackle out of Clemson. Nice. I think they can go for linemen. They can get their defense better in general. They really should be getting a cornerback or something because their off pass coverage is horrible. But I'm going to go with Brian Brees just because.
Okay. Giants here. Need a wide receiver. Need a cornerback. I've still got Quentin Johnson and Zay Flowers on my board. I'm going to go Quentin Johnson here. I think he's the better of the two. Pair him up with Danny Dimes. Hopefully get Saquon back in there. You got Darren Waller. That offense could be legit, along with a much improved defense. You got to get Danny Dimes some weapons. He hasn't had them in previous years, so this is his chance. I got you a first-round wide receiver. We're not going to go the Packers route where we don't give you any weapons and get mad at you when you don't produce. So I like them getting Quentin Johnson, dynamic threat. I mean, we saw what he did against Michigan in the college football playoff. he can be. I mean, his ceiling is very high. I just don't know what his floor is. I like Quinn Johnson there to the Giants. They get kind of I'd say a top 20 guy in the 25, so good pick there for them.
Yep. 26, Dallas Cowboys. I'm going Darnell Washington, tight end.
Yep. Okay.
I think they need to get rid of Dalton Schultz and then they need to get another weapon. Unfortunately, I think this is where Michael Myers is going to go, tight end on Notre Dame. I really think they will. But
I don't think he'll still be here. You think Michael Myers will drop this far?
Yeah, there's a chance. Because I think the Cowboys want him bad, and I don't think – I mean, I don't know. There are teams that want him, but I think that Utah tight end is going to go first. I think just because the way that offenses in the NFL are now, like offenses in the NFL don't cater to like running backs anymore. So having like a blocking tight end for defense for offense doesn't matter as much. Like they want like in the NFL you want like a pass heavy tight end who can run routes, catch plays, and that's what that Utah tight end's so good at. Like sort of
That's
like
fair.
a Travis Kelce now, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
If
If you get this pick wrong, then we need to end the podcast right now.
The Bills?
Yeah. There's only one right answer. Literally only one right answer.
Really?
Only one. If you get it wrong, then we have to end the podcast. So
I don't know. I don't know if there's one wrong answer. I'm assuming you want me to take Zay Flowers here.
No.
Oh, you want me to take Jahmyr Gibbs?
There you go. It's Jahmyr Gibbs.
No.
What? How is it not? Dude, that's the literal only thing the Bills goddamn need is a running back.
And a wide receiver and a safety.
If they hadn't... Oh, yeah, because they don't have Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis?
Well, we don't know how long Diggs is going to be there.
Bro, look.
I'm going Brian Branch out of Alabama safety.
Oh, my God. You got it wrong.
I'm not a big take a wide receiver in the first round, dude. I mean a running back. I'm not a running back guy in the first round.
I know, but the Bills are literally one good running back away from being like a Super Bowl.
But will they even run the ball if they have a good running back? I don't know.
Probably not. But he's like an Alvin Kamara type. He's an Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on, Joe. What are we doing?
I honestly think the Bills won't run the ball no matter who. I don't think they'll run the ball well regardless.
Well, he's like an Alvin Kamara type player, so that he can be like a pass-heavy type running back.
Well, Kamara did this last year. Nothing great. So
yeah, that's not. Well, he plays for the worst team in football, but that's not here nor there. All
right,
so
I don't know about the worst team in football. I mean, they have the
Chargers are in the NFL.
All right,
28. You ran right into that one. Come on now. 28. The Cincinnati Bengals. I think really the only thing that they really need that much is a cornerback, and there's one guy really left on the board in my cornerbacks, and it's Kelee Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia. I think being a Georgia cornerback, he's been playing against the best competition, playing in Georgia, playing on the best defense. He knows how to win. He knows how to play well. So let's just throw him at with the Cincinnati Bengals. Give him a good cornerback.
Okay. There's one cornerback I had ahead of him that's left, but we'll get to that in a second here. Okay, Saints, the worst team in the league, as you've said.
Mm-hmm.
This one's really tough. I think got to go defensive line here. Oh, this is tough. They also could use a wide receiver. This is tough.
Bro,
I'm going to go... I think I'm pronouncing this correctly. Kalia Kancey out of...
Yes, Joseph. That's what I was going to say. He's the Aaron Donald one. He's the guy that's like Aaron Donald except like faster. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty high standard to live up to. Do you think... Am I pronouncing that right? Kalia Kancey?
Yeah.
I think...
You're close enough.
Sure. We've probably butchered a lot of these names, but that's not our job. No. So the Saints get what do you call him? The Aaron Donald, but faster. Okay.
He is. He ran.
Good to know you've been grinding the tape.
He's like he ran like a 4.540, bro. He's fast as hell.
All right, you got the Eagles again. 2 first-round picks for the Super Bowl runners-up.
That's crazy, but I'm going to actually be smart here and take Jahmyr Gibbs because they didn't
this
take
is where
Bijan
I would be fine with them. Yes.
Yes. So they didn't take Bijan Robinson. Now the Eagles get a stud running back, and Jahmyr Gibbs was able to throw the ball to him. Now, Joseph, the last pick in the draft, just so everyone clearly can tell, we did not do any trades. That's too much to think, too much to go. We're just pretending like trades are never going to happen in the first round. Just forget about it. Joseph, what do we got with the last pick of the first round?
Oh, I hate to do this, man, but I think they're going to back their way into Zay Flowers here. This sucks.
No way, bro. You think you're going to get Zay Flowers all the way down to 31?
I don't think they will, but in our instance, they have. And I don't want to give them another good wide receiver, dude. We've taken a lot of wide receivers in the first round. I don't think this many will go. Yeah, it's going to have to be Zay Flowers. They need a wide receiver. Juju's gone. And they just backed their way into Zay Flowers at the end of the first round, which is nice. Other than that, I could go Darnell Wright out of Tennessee for offensive tackle. They do need that. They've lost some guys.
Well, how about
I think I'm gonna go Zay Flowers.
Torrance? How do you feel about Osiris Torrance, the guard out of Florida? You know who that is?
I have him lower on my list. I don't think they need a guard, though. They need a tackle. But you get Patrick Mahomes, another first-round wide receiver. I think it's pretty much game over for the league. So I'm really hoping this doesn't happen. Someone needs to clutch up and take Zay Flowers before he drops the Chiefs. But Chiefs get Zay Flowers to finish off the first round. Shout out to the teams that didn't have a first-round pick. This was kind of fun because we only had like 24 teams that had first-round picks. So lots of multiples here. Eagles just somehow win every draft. Who'd they get? Who'd you pick both times? You got Jahmyr Gibbs, and who'd you take at 10?
It was
I forget. Was it Miles Murphy?
No, it was that. It was defense D lineman.
I think it was
Nolan Smith. Wasn't it Nolan?
Nolan Smith. Yep.
Nolan Smith.
Well, we'll have to rewind the tape on that to make sure. We probably should have. We're not very professional here, Evan. We're not.
No.
Quite.
But either way though, this was a good.
This was a pretty solid draft.
This was a solid draft, and I think it's going to be a good draft in general. There's a lot of people saying that this draft is not the most talented. A lot of NFL scouts saying this is one of the lower talent drafts, didn't have that much talent to give. Some can agree, some cannot. I don't really know how much I feel about it. We're going to see how things go. We're going to see how trades go. You know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun draft. I think it's going to give us some excitement to watch. Everyone loves watching the draft. It gives us something to look forward to. So I'm glad it's happening. You know, and congrats to all the guys that get drafted. It's a big time, big money, you know, big money coming your way, life-changing moments. So congrats to all those guys. And, yeah, that's all I got to say about the draft. What a good first round. Yeah,
that was solid. I think we're even more read in than last year. I think last year I did pretty good last year. I went back and looked. Like we were kind of on point with some of these guys. I remember one specific. I think it was Kier Alam that we got right. I don't remember who took him, but we had him. So yeah, nice, solid, love it. This will be exactly right. So place your futures on all these picks, especially Bijan to locks. The Lions and CJ Stroud #1 overall. It's bound to happen.
100% locks, 100% going to be right, guarantees. We don't confirm this. We don't deny this. These are just the facts. This was a 43-minute episode of just straight mock draft talk. That's all we got. I mean, it's when it's mock draft week, we devote it to the NFL.
It's mock draft week.
It's mock draft week. You say
next week, though, all NBA playoffs. I'm so excited. We're going to be starting the second round.
It's going to be all NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs from here on out. It's going to be all playoff talk from here on out. Maybe some PGA talk when it comes up, but from now we're going all NHL and NBA playoffs from here on out. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Please go enjoy your draft this weekend. Go, do whatever you got to do to enjoy yourself. I hope your team has a good draft. I hope everyone's teams gets the players they wanted, gets the people that make their team better. Let's have a great draft this weekend. The season is upon us, and Joseph, send us away.